Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And today I'm on the Feather River in Northern California, and I'm catching up on some breakup stories here. And if you have a breakup story you'd like to share, please visit writemac.com and check out the directions on that before you send it in. I've had a couple stories over the last couple of weeks. It's a privilege to read your breakup stories. I'm happy to do it, but please take a look at the website and get some examples and actually reread your story, and don't write it in code like TY for thank you, or you're writing a text. Doesn't have to be professional writing, but it has to be fairly clear. I don't want to be deciphering what you use for code all the time. I know most of this stuff, but someone's writing CYST or something like that, I'm thinking cyst. I don't know what you mean. So visit writemac.com if you have a breakup story you want to share, and get that into me. So this story was actually, I think, written pretty well, so kudos to you. How's it going, Mac? First and foremost, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to read my story. That's a very good way to start your story. Thank you. In all honesty, I don't know where to begin, but I'll start with this. In January of this year, I started to date this girl at my job who is 4 years older than me. I'm 23 and she is 27. Even though age is nothing but a number, I still feel as though that may have played a role in the two of us eventually disagreeing on a lot of things regarding 23 and 27 aren't very different. It depends on her maturity level. Even though the age is nothing but a number, I still feel as though that may have played a role in the two of us eventually disagreeing on a lot of things regarding our 4-month time together period of dating. So you were only together for 4 months. Let's just say, these short relationships, I hate to say, they're easier to get over though. Things between us were going smoothly from the start. The comfort, the trust, the affection, the sex, the communication. It's a lot of good things in 4 months. Things were gradually gaining momentum between the two of us, but the only problem was that when we started dating, she mentioned that she didn't want a relationship at the time, and I respected her decision. As time passed, she told me a fair amount of intimate things that contradicted with what she stated early in our unofficial relationship. So she hadn't told you the full truth. Now, even after her telling me these things, I avoided asking her to be my girlfriend because I saw everything she was saying as some sort of... Got a helicopter here. Oh, wow. That's a sheriff. So, don't know if that was some kind of sign in your story. At this time, she told me a fair amount of intimate things that contradicted with what she stated early on in the unofficial relationship. Now, even after her telling me these things, I avoided asking her to be my girlfriend because I saw everything she was saying as some sort of test to see if I was going to get anxious or emotional towards what she told me. They call those shit tests sometimes. And it sounds like you didn't want to deal with it. You had maybe dealt with that before, and that wasn't something you wanted to be tested on. As time passed, things were gradually gaining momentum between the two of us, but the only problem was that when we started dating, she mentioned that she didn't want a relationship at the time, and I respected her decision. As time passed, she told me a fair amount of intimate things that contradicted. Okay, sorry to go over that again. I lost my place. Now, even after her telling me these things, I avoided asking her to be my girlfriend because I saw everything she was doing as a test. She called me her boyfriend a couple of times, baby, mi amor, even Poppy. Hey, Poppy. Hey, Poppy. So you had pet names. That's a sign of intimacy. Though I did appreciate all of it, it only resulted in me getting frustrated and confused because it seems to me that she didn't know what she wanted. A lot of women don't. Especially if, well, she's 27, okay. A lot of people don't know what they want, and it changes a lot, and that's why we have trouble in relationships. I eventually let my insecurities get the best of me, and my emotions boiled over when I decided to call her out on it. You called her out on your emotions boiling over. It didn't turn out so well because that's a side of myself I've never seen. I didn't seem to have control of what I was saying. Now I'm someone who people consider as calm and collected, but on that day it felt like it as if it wasn't true. When our argument ended, I decided not to show her as much attention as I used to. As the days passed, she noticed that I was being asked by other women if I was single or if I'm interested. How would she know that? On your Facebook or something? Now you're testing her, right? I used to. In the days past, she noticed that I was other women and meeting them. I'm interested in meeting their daughter. I never showed interest simply because I had feelings for this girl and still do. One day, she saw an older woman showing me pictures of her daughter who wasn't bad looking at all, and that day she decides to approach me by saying that she missed her. Of course, she's jealous. Women do that. Women are always in competition, so it's not surprising at all. Myself, how convenient. I mean, even if you have a girlfriend long term, you know, I've been in relationships before where I've been in with my girlfriend for 4 years or 5 years, and they see you talking to someone at a cafe or being friendly with a waitress, and it sparks something in them, even if you've been together 4 or 5 years. It's like, that's my guy. I decided to ignore her. I had all kinds of mixed emotions running through my mind when she mentioned this to me, and even on this day, I still don't know if she was actually pregnant or not. Oh shit, I missed something here. One day, she saw an older woman with me. She decides to approach me by saying that she missed me for a period, and I was thinking of myself how convenient it was for her to tell me this when I was decided to ignore her. I had all kinds of mixed emotions running through my mind when she mentioned to me, and even on this day, I still don't know if she was actually pregnant or not. Okay, I didn't miss anything. I just reread because I'm like, where did I miss the pregnant part? After the situation, we ended up going out once more and gave into our sexual instinct that night, as we have before. Things sort of rekindled themselves after, but they went downhill again because you never fixed the problem. Due to some things that were, you don't trust her, said on my part, and obviously they weren't appreciated by her. This only led to more arguments and a development of resentment that she had towards me. After that, we both agreed that we would restart and not date at all because we both didn't like where everything regarding our relationship was going. This is where I believe I made a mistake because I sort of agreed to be her friend when I know deep down that I want to be more than that. That was stupid. I don't say that often, but yeah, be honest with yourself. Be honest. Mind you, she had been through a lot in her life and has also been in many bad relationships. That's not your fault or your responsibility in a young relationship. You didn't create those problems. Now, are you willing to deal with them? Are you willing to deal with this kind of person based on her past bad relationships? Are you going to pay for that? And I have reason to believe that she has built an intolerance for guys who want to treat her badly and take her for granted. Completely possible. Some women, that's their model of a relationship. Very possible. But I never had one bad intention for her and still don't. Well, maybe that's why you didn't connect. After things cooled down, I owned up to my mistakes and apologized to her. Thankfully, she was willing to hear me out. That's great. That's your closure. As badly as she insulted me on the day of our argument, she forgave me for the things that I said. We went out to just talk things out, but not rebuild a relationship or anything like that. I think you want to rebuild a relationship, but you're being passive-aggressive. But to find some common ground. On that day, she considered our meetup as a goodbye because she had left to Alaska for a job at a fishery for 2 months. Yeah, the relationship's not going to go anywhere if she's in Alaska. Or I don't know where you live. She saw that I was disappointed and saddened in the fact that during our meetup, she was essentially saying that we were never going to be more than... never going to be. I mean, life's a long time. Don't make it so dramatic. What we were a couple of months ago, but sort of beating around the bush. As she was explaining herself, she saw my facial expression and noticed how I was feeling. She then grabbed my hand, gave me a kiss on the cheek, started crying, and told me to move on with my life because she feels that she might not be the one for me. If she doesn't feel like she's the one for you, then you do need to move on. She's telling you that. This is not a movie. So I respected her decision and agreed that maybe I do need to move on and let her go. After we said good night to each other and parted ways, I got home the same night I got the phone call, but I didn't answer the sixth phone call. The tone of her voice sounded like she was crying when I answered. She then went to ask me why I didn't answer, and I'm going to be okay, and I promised her that I'm going to be okay. So that I did this because I'm going to be. A couple of days before she left for Alaska, she texted me saying her last goodbye and thanked me for everything. You guys are just dragging this out. I responded to her by saying, in all honesty, you're the one who deserves the thanks for everything you've done for me. I wish nothing but the best for you. I know for sure you are going to be successful. I hope that you consider me as something positive in your life, and maybe we'll see each other again in this life or the next goodbye. She responded by saying, you'll see that we will. That's a great way to put it. That actually gave me a little chills. That's a great way. That's poetic. That's a great way to end it. Now leave it alone. I didn't respond after that, but the day after, she sent me a picture of her looking nice and sexy in a black dress. I didn't know what to make of it because you guys are still connected. You guys didn't really break up. You still have feelings for each other. It's bad timing more than anything else, it sounds like to me. And she's got some issues in her past. And the fact that she decided to send me that after the goodbye felt weird. She's still interested in you. She still has feelings. She still wants to keep you on the hook. She also sent me 2 short videos of her at club bar. She went with a girlfriend, trying to make you jealous that night, which kind of aggravated me. She wanted to get you jealous. She wants to get you to come over and overcompensate because I don't know what her intention was. It's to get your attention. But from there, I haven't spoken to her since. It's been more than a week. To wrap things up, I feel as if my story is unique because I promised that I never begged or cried for her for another chance. Good for fucking you. That'll serve you later on. That's why she's sending you pictures later on, because you didn't beg and plead, and she's just wondering, does he like me? Does he not like me? And women love to guess. And humans, I've said this before, we open and close loops on stories, and when the loop's left open, it drives us nuts. Does he like me? Is he still into me? Is it really over? I also gave her a pretty decent ending compared to how all her past relationship played out. You did. But something tells me it's entirely over because I believe that there was and is so much to give in this. My question is, how do situations like this normally play out in the end? Well, I would say that it's a perfect segue for you to give her 2 months in Alaska and see how she feels out in Alaska without you. Whether you guys text each other or send each other postcards or notes, that's fine. This isn't a situation where you had a lot of bad blood or layered crap. It's pretty early in the relationship. You're getting to know each other. I would stay in no contact, and then I would say there's a 50-50 shot she probably will contact you when she gets back from Alaska, just by the way things sound right now. I know I want her back, but I don't want to be obsessed. Good. Being obsessed is highly unattractive, with the idea of doing everything in my power to win her back, because it's hard to say. She's attracted to the fact that you gave that last speech and you left it alone. My power to win her back, because it's hard to say if she still has feelings for me at this point. I think she still has feelings for you. If I'll ever see her again, I think you'll see her again. If she's from your hometown or in your vicinity, but it's possible. But you do need to live your life as if she might not come back. You need to live your life in no contact, meeting other women, doing your things, having a good time, going to a river like this behind me. And then if she comes back, it's a bonus. The time that you get obsessed is if you're going, well, what about that black dress picture she sent me? Does she like me? You don't know. But I'll tell you this, she has interest. She wants your attention at the moment. She's going away for 2 months, so you got that time as a buffer zone. As of right now, I plan to just work on myself and use my time wisely so that my goals can be accomplished. That's fucking outstanding. But I'm just looking for some clarity on this issue so that I can make sense of it all. Well, I hope I helped you with that. And what I said, if you want to do a live coaching session to get into what you want to do moving forward out of this breakup, and kind of talk about some of your goals and maybe hold you accountable for those. But otherwise, really well written story. You seem to have good grounding on everything, and don't overthink it is what I would say. So I hope that helps you. Please visit writemac.com if you have a breakup story out there that you'd like to share. Thank you.